up and sprayed. The handling was greatly improved on the 1302, and as a result the front suspension is a far more complicated assembly.
I've never done it before, so I don't know what I'm doing. Steve reckons he has.
Generally with VWs this is the exception, not the rule. For the most part, Beetles were designed with simplicity in mind, and most of the car can be assembled with a couple of spanners.
We've got a diagram, Gaines manual, so...
Oh, there we go. Run off the manual. That's good.
None of the boys are pros, but keeping a bug on the road usually demands at least some basic mechanical nous. But with more than 100 VW clubs in the UK, there's plenty of help around if you need it. The thriving club scene is the main reason why there are still so many dubs on the road. Dub junkies often meet up to exchange tips and experiences, but it's as much about lifestyle as anything else.
Yeah, it's more than just about the car. I sort of really enjoy going out, meeting different people, spending time with friends, because we're all sort of friends as well, so...
Clubs operate on both national and local levels, and meets take place in various venues all around the country.
It's like Alcoholics Anonymous. People come round and go, "Oh, my name's John, and this week I've been having carburettor problems."
First you get the Beetle, then you get the Bug. Owners soon want theirs to stand out in a crowd, which can become an expensive addiction.
When I first took it on, I didn't realise everything that went with it, sort of the whole air-cooled scene with the clubs and meets and ultimately the shows.
Amanda's 1975 1300 cost her dad Martin only £250, but he'll admit he was robbed. What started out as an MOT fix-up job soon turned into a £6,000 labour of love. Remarkably, he achieved this with virtually no previous experience.
I changed the fan belt for a friend of mine once.
The full makeover, including a complete replacement body shell, was made a whole lot easier with the help of the local club.
Whenever I'd needed any tools, anything like that, you just go and you say, "Help, can anybody help me with this?" And somebody comes along and says, "I've got one, here you go, just borrow this."
When you buy one, you might know nothing about mechanics, but when you sell one, you know a lot more. You learn how to fix it, or you just learn how to write checks.
If it's a disease, then this lot don't want to know the cure.
I'm one of the few people that only owns one Volkswagen. Everybody else I know has got at least two.
Back in the garage, the last thing the boys need is a time-consuming setback, but the wiring is becoming a major cause for concern.
I'm not going to lie to you, Steve, this is going to be a mare.
I know.
You're making a new vehicle and you're putting 30-year-old wiring back in. Basically, Steve wanted to reuse an old wiring loom from, not even from this vehicle, from another vehicle. And it's just old and knackered and horrible.
This looks like dodgy.
It's not great though, is it, Steve?
Couple of wires there, and that's it.
No, yeah, but look at it. Look, what's that? What's that?
It was all working when it came out of the car. Everything worked on it. So I just thought, it'd be alright, just reuse it.
The question is whether it's quicker to make up a new loom from scratch.
He said he
doesn't need a whole new wiring loom.
Steve, I said to you at the beginning, are we putting a new loom in? You said, oh no, we're using this.
Yeah.
And the amount of modern switchgear we're going to have in this
but that's the thing.
Because of the new high-tech components in the front end, the wiring will be far more complex, and the old loom may not be up to the job.
General consensus is we just use that as a pattern and just mock up another one.
It'll probably take a little bit more time, really, just because we've got to get hold of the cable now.
After the break, the group effort continues, with the Bug finally earning its wings and finding its feet. But with the MOT just a week away, it's a shame not everything fits so well.
The exhausting wire.
With the project behind schedule and an MOT date set, the boys have had to call in the troops.
Basically, we've got a week and a half, 2 weeks to get it to a stage where it can be MOT'd.
They've barely a month before the last big summer show in Brighton, and Steve and Rich have sent out an SOS to some fellow club members.
You get some bits that fly together and some bits that you'd expect to take minutes, take 5 hours, you know.
The group's obsession with VWs means they're all handy with a spanner, and the basic assembly has been going well.
Look, definitely look. There's no skill here, definitely not.
But after much debate, they've ditched the original 30-year-old wiring loom and will attempt to build a new one from scratch.
Been down the shop, got a load of wire, and we'll run it through.
And Steve knows the perfect man for the job. His mate Adi is both an electrician and V-dub enthusiast, but it's turned into a much bigger job than he anticipated.
He said he had the original wiring loom and he was just going to extend it where he needed it. He didn't say we're going to make a new one out of a bit of old trailer towing wire. Thank you very much. Didn't say anything like that.
And the wire the lads have got hold of isn't the best for the job.
We're using the trailer tow wire just because that's what they've got, but I'd rather use individual pieces of wire because you can't see the wire in there when you're doing it. So if there was a fault, it'd be a bit of a nightmare to try and trace it.
The electrics have become a lot more complicated throughout, with a games console, LCD and digital dials and electric windows to name just some of the additions.
The electric window kit should be a straightforward just replacement of the old winder mechanism.
The single loom runs along the side of the floor pan, through the rear quarter and into the engine bay. The back of the loom isn't as complicated as the front, with just a couple more wires needed for the senders that run from the engine to the dials on the dash. Meanwhile, Paul's been fitting the lower suspension arm.
There's adjustment on the inner here to adjust the camber. Basically this moves the whole of the strut inwards and outwards to set the angle of the wheel. But we put all nice new bushes on, so it should be really nice to drive. And it's got much better aftermarket shocks as well and adjustable springs, so it's a bit more like a modern car to drive.
After the anti-roll bar is fitted, the lads attack the brake assembly. They would have liked some flash